Welcome to the Linky Pepper channel. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story, alright? Vibe with me, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Alright, so when I was about 23 years old, I went down to MEPS. If you don't know what MEPS is, that's like the military office for when you're signing up to join the military. Like before boot camp, it's where you get approved to get into the military. So when I was about 23, I went down to MEPS and I took all the tests and everything. And this was probably like a little bit right before I don't know if it was before or during, like the beginning of it, but it was pretty close to the beginning of the Afghanistan conflict. And I really wanted to join the military. And I took the test and everything, and I got home, and I remember I was telling my parents about it, that I took the test and everything, and they were just telling me like that I shouldn't do it and I shouldn't go, and they thought it was a bad idea. And I really regretted not doing it, like I really regretted not going and doing the whole soldier thing. So I always consider myself a soldier, I always thought I would be a good soldier. And my dad told me, he said, "You don't want to do that." He said, "That's not for you." And I listened to him, because I always listened to my dad when he was serious about something, And my dad and my mom felt strong about it, so I definitely just didn't do it. Now, present day, fast forward to present day. Now, we done been through Obama, we done been through Trump, and now we the Biden. Since, all that stuff happened. Well, first it was Bush. So we done been through Bush, we've been through Obama twice, and we've been through Trump, and now we at the beginning stages of Biden. And I know you looking at me and you like, damn, how old are you? I'm actually older than I look, but so we're at the beginning stages of Biden, and he's basically giving up Afghanistan. And I come from a military household. Like, my dad was in the Army, my uncle was in the Navy, my grandpa was in the Navy, his dad was in the Army. It's just like, it's definitely in my bones to always watch what the military is doing and always care about what's going on and make sure that they're taking care of our military and making sure that we're safe in those regards. I always think about the military. Like, I've always had that in my head, that it's like the most important thing that we have is our military. You know what I mean? It's the only thing that gives us our freedom is our military. It's nothing else. It's not anything else about us that gives us our freedom besides our military. That's it. And God. God first, then the military. Right? God first, and then the military. Okay? So, like, I'm always thinking about this stuff, and I'm always watching this stuff. So when this stuff happened with Afghanistan, okay, I remember it was a big deal for about 3 days, maybe 3 days, okay, maybe 3 days. And then they didn't talk about it anymore. Like, you still don't hear anything about Afghanistan. Like, you don't see anything on the news. That's what makes me know that, like, the news is all owned by the same people. Like, it's gotta be owned by the same people, because American news, you don't see anything about Afghanistan. So many people died in Afghanistan and for Afghanistan and just like blown up. Remember all the IEDs? Remember like all the tanks would blow up every day? You would see like, oh, 5 people died in a tank bomb. 3 people bombed in a IED. 3 people hit by a grenade. Like you would see that all day, every day. So many people died in Afghanistan. And for it to end, like for him to just give it away with all those weapons, and for him to make it that, excuse me, let's get some water. For him to just sweep it under the rug and to just continue with all this COVID stuff, all this mandate stuff, and just act like Afghanistan didn't mean anything. Because people like died in the worst kind of ways in Afghanistan, you know? Like, I know people are dying from COVID. I know COVID is a bad thing, but Afghanistan was a bad thing too. And we can't just let him sweep that under the rug and act like that wasn't important, and act like he didn't just make a mockery out of the United States. That's basically what he did, and he's the worst president ever. He's the worst president. And I know that we've had presidents that have had slavery and all this stuff, you know what I mean? But he's pushing slavery too, because these mandates it's not constitutional. It's not at all. It's not constitutional. And this is just the beginning of him. Like, I'm gonna be making these videos. I couldn't be quiet. I wanted to be quiet, and I know it's better for me if I am quiet, and I have a better chance of surviving all of this if I do stay quiet and if I do use the element of surprise. But at the end of the day, I can't help but talk about this stuff because it's unreal. Like, and if I don't hear other people's feedback on this, then I won't even believe what I'm seeing. I don't even believe like what I'm seeing. Like it's crazy. It's like upside down world from 5 years ago. Everything is just not 5 years ago. I say about 3 years ago. From about 3 years ago, it's just upside down world. So I don't know. Yeah. So then I think about it, and it's like I would have been over there. You know, like. I probably would have, I could have seen people, I definitely would have seen people die if I would have been over there. I could have died over there. I could have killed people for the cause. And then at the end of the day, he just gives it all away. And then you don't hear about it after 3 days. Could you imagine to be a soldier that was in Afghanistan and well, for what? What was you there for? What was the point? It's no point. It was 20 years wasted. You know? That's crazy. I'm Lanky Pepper. Thanks for watching. Peace.